All right, guys, we are live. This is Beat the Line broadcast episode 26, UFC Vegas 90. I'm your host, Picks by Pegasus. As always, we got Dravy and Keith 3 picks. So, guys, real quick, last card was a kind of a disaster, right? A little bit of a nightmare what was going on between the eye pokes, the early stoppages, the reffing, stuff like that. We all made out well, but it wasn't looking good up until like Manon Farrow, our Lord and Savior, saved us all and collected that bag, and she made it look easy. Like she should have been minus 400 easily.
The physicality difference was just insane.
I saw Macy Barber's calling for a shot now against Blanchfield.
I don't like that matchup for her. I think she's better off going the Rose route.
I agree.
She's gonna beat Rose if they fight, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I was getting cooked till the main card. Then the last three fights, I hit back to back underdogs, and I ended up in profit. That was good. But Buckley made your boy Luke quit, Peg. How was that?
Yeah, that was kind of crazy. I kind of think Buckley was right. I think it was rigged. I think that James Krause set it up so that because who pulls guard and then just defends themselves and doesn't take any damage? I think that's a little suspect. I don't know about you, but
because he doesn't want to get hit anymore. He's scared to get hit because he's at the end of his career. He's not in his prime anymore. Doesn't want to take as much damage. Career trajectory. We talked about that on the show last week. I'm sure people remember that.
Yeah.
The crazy part about it is that he wasn't even getting cooked like before he pulled guard.
No, he won round one, I think.
No, he didn't. I think
he wasn't fighting bad.
Yeah, that was a close first round, but I think Buckley won the first round. But I think he was getting hit hard, and like he said in his last fight, he was scared of getting hit too much, because of his brain bleeding and stuff like that. I mean, I would have been scared too, So I just feel like I'm happy that I was able to see that before the fight, that he was not the same fighter, even after the RDA fight. That was good to catch Buckley at plus money here. You guys think Buckley get the main event instead of?
They should get the main event. It makes way more sense than DC and DeLima. Or I'm sorry,
Who,
Lewis and DeLima.
Who do they give him though?
Sean Brady, I think.
No. You give him Neil Magny and let him beat the shit out of Neil Magny.
I mean, Neil Magny can probably beat him, if I'm being honest.
No way, bro. In what world?
Because he fight long at distance, he can maybe mix in the clinch. I think if they fight, Buckley's probably going to be minus 250 and people are going to parlay him. But I think Magny can very well beat him. But yeah, I don't think they do Magny as a main event. I think they do either they do him versus Neil, but I don't think they're going to do Neil if that's a main event. They're probably going to do I think they can do Sean Brady. He just had an insane performance. Yeah. Or maybe they do MVP or they do Kevin Holland rematch.
I mean, I think Brady cooks him.
Buckley said that he doesn't want the Holland rematch.
Yeah, I saw that. But if the UFC said that's the fight for the main event, he's not gonna say no.
Dude, you can do MVP, but MVP is gonna cook him even worse than Holland.
If you fight MVP, dude, I think
he's gonna get knocked out again.
Not bad.
He'll be looking for his mouth guard again.
Yeah, but either way, he has been improving, Buckley. I'll give him that. He looked good in his last
for sure.
fight.
All right, let's get started here with this card that we got in front of us. We got 13 fights. We kind of want to breeze through this one. It's a lackluster card. There's a few good angles on it, but it's relatively lackluster. All right, fight number one is Melissa Tanya Mullins versus Nora Cornolle. Melissa Mullins, 6-0, 32-5-7 with a 68-inch reach. This is her second fight in the UFC, and she is fighting Nora Cornolle. Nora Cornolle is 7-1. She's 34-5-7 with a 67-inch reach. She's 1-0 in the UFC as well after beating Jocelyn Edwards. Key, break us down for this first. I kind of think Nora's live with her Muay Thai for a knockout here. What do you think?
Yeah, so I got Nora at plus 270. You can get a better line right now at plus 285. I think that she's the side here. We've seen Mullins get her ass whooped and just get the shit kicked out of her past two fights. And she's pretty much just had to wait for her moment to expose her opponent's cardio. Versus Darius, she was getting pieced the hell up in the pocket. And then versus Ronda, Russian Ronda, she was losing early on. I think that she's a good grappler. Don't get it twisted. I do think that she's a solid grappler. But in terms of trying to think that she's just going to run through Nora here and look like a minus 350 favorite, that doesn't make any sense to me. Nora's, in my opinion, probably has the better stand up. In the clinch, I think that she's going to excel a lot more than a lot of Mullins' past opponents have. A Muay Thai background shows up, and she's just a nasty girl. She's just very mean when fighting. Elbows, short knees in the clinch, a lot of just accumulation damage. It's going to add up. It's going to add up, and I think that Mullins shows that damage really badly now. She's coming off of 2 fights where she was bleeding pretty badly. And now she's getting thrown into another fight where she's bound to get cut up a little bit more. I think that we're going to see another tricky decision here for Nora. I think that that's one of her paths. I think that, like Peg said, there's a shot that she does KO her. She does have KO power. She's a big girl. She throws hard. She throws aggressive. And in women's MMA, that prevails a lot of the time. I don't see a way that Mullins looks minus 350 on the feet, period. In no world do I think that that's a possibility. I think that there is a chance that she could look minus 350 if she gets the fight down to the ground very quickly, early. But I don't see that happening either. So for that reason, I think the plus 285 is a side, and this is definitely not a good parlay piece or anything like that. And if you do think that Mullins is going to look minus 350, wait to bet the ITD, whatever those prices come out on your books.
So just to go over quickly, Nora plus 3.5 is plus 160. Mullins by KO plus 400, and Mullins by sub plus 800. So that's what that's looking like. So it's I kind of agree with you. I think we're going to have like an ugly split decision here. I kind of like that 3.5 plus 160 line. Honestly, I may play that. That might be my angle at it because I think it's going to be close, like you said. Neither of these two girls are super exceptional. I don't think any of them is going to look a minus 350. Because even I think if Mullins does get the takedowns, Nora doesn't just lay on her back and try and play guard. She tries to get up at least, and she'll do that in round 1, round 2. So it should be interesting. Drav, what do you think?
Yeah, just to make sure people know, Melissa Mullins is Melissa Dixon. She just switches her name recently. So yeah, I backed her in her last fight when she made her UFC debut against the Russian Ronda. She was a slight underdog in that fight, and now like that was not like a domination. That was a close fight, you know. And now she's a minus 350. After that, it's a big jump, man. It's a big jump. So I think she's probably gonna win because I just don't like Cornolle takedown defense and ground game in general. I think Mullins has a grappling path, but man, like Keith said, I think Cornolle's gonna look good on the feet. Mullins very hittable. She doesn't take damage that well. So, and you know it's women MMA, and that's kind of low level. And when you have a big favorite like that, it's kind of hard to trust them. So yeah, if you want to bet this fight, I think you should listen to Key because he probably have a better read than me. But to me, it's dog or pass for sure. But I'm probably not gonna get there myself. But yeah, you can be parlaying minus 350 on Dixon.
No way. I think we were all on Dixon's last time too. I don't know. I think plus 3.5 plus 160 may be a pretty good bet too. So I'm writing that down because I may grab that after the show. Let's go on to our next fight. Next fight is one of Twitter's main events of the week. We got Dylan Budka, 24, 6 feet tall, 75-inch reach. He is, like I said, 24. I forgot the odds on the chicks. But on this fight, you're looking at Dylan Budka anywhere from minus 140 to minus 165. He is fighting Cesar Almeida, the guy most known for winning one fight against Pereira and losing the other 2. He's 4-0. He's a sturdy kickboxer. 36 years old, 6'1" with a 74-inch reach. This is his debut. I'm just to start because I got this quick. I played Dylan Budka plus 124. This is a classic grappler versus a striker matchup. This fight stays standing on the feet. Almeida has a chance to look minus 350 on the ground. Dylan Budka is going to look minus 500. It's just a matter, can Dylan get the takedowns and hold him down there? on the feet, I think Dylan has more of an edge on the feet than Almeida has on the floor, just because. But Budka, his boxing's okay. It's improving each fight, and he's got a pretty solid head. He's one of those, Midwestern brickhead guys where he doesn't really get knocked out easily. And as we saw in Almeida's Dana White Contender Series fight, he kind of struggled to finish the guy who was death gassed in the third round. So, the longer this fight goes on, the more it'll favor Budka. I think he's going to take him down. He's going to get those takedowns. He's got a good wrestling background. His top control is not tremendous, but I think he'll do enough to get it done. Drav, what's your take on this fight?
Yeah, I think it's kind of hard to know if he's like that durable, like you're saying, because he has not fought a striker and a guy that has the power of Almeida. So it's kind of hard for me to back him here and to say that he's able to take the shots because, like you said, it's classic. I think it's more wrestler versus striker because Budka, I don't think he has the best like ground game. I think he has good wrestling. Like he gets people to the ground, but he doesn't do much damage when he gets on top, and he's not like a big submission guy, And I think Almeida on Dana White Contender Series, like I don't think his takedown defense was bad, to be honest. I think it was decent. Get up game was decent as well, and I think his BJJ, like he know what he's doing, So I think the guy that he beat on Contender Series is actually pretty decent. So yeah, it's gonna be like, is Budka able to get the takedowns? But when he gets the takedown, is he gonna do damage on top enough to win the round if he's losing the first 2-3 minutes on the feet, let's say? We know that the judges are kind of heavy on damage these days, so that's something you need to be careful about if you lay chalk on Budka here. And yeah, I think Almeida's striking is pretty good. He has power. He's on the older side, a lot of kickboxing experience, but he's young in his MMA career, but still, 36 years old. It's not very, it's not young for sure. He just turned 36, my bad, not 26. He just turned 36 and he's fighting at middleweight, so it's not like that bad. But yeah, I just feel like it's a binary fight. I think Almeida can knock him out. I think Budka can potentially get takedowns. And the line is kind of close for me. At these odds, it got to be dog or pass again. I think Almeida's the side at plus 130. But I'm just not confident enough in my read in general. I think it should be maybe closer to a pick'em. So I think you guys both got plus money. So I guess good job on that because I think either of them at plus money is probably the bet. But I just don't feel strong enough to pull the trigger on Almeida just yet. Maybe if the lines keep going up, I will. But yeah, man, I don't know. I think you're on Budka as well. Yeah, right? You're muted, bro. Key, you're muted.
I got a plus 110, and that I'm cool with that price. At these odds, I probably wouldn't take that. Take minus 140 or minus 130 or so on minus 148 actually on Budka. There's not much breakdown here. For me, my thought process behind siding with Budka here. If we're just looking at this, Cesar Almeida's limited MMA experience. We know that he's 36 years old. We know that Budka's 24, continuing to grow, continue to make improvements between each fight. I think they had a pretty ugly showing on Dana White Contender Series, but he also took that on super, super short notice and was still able to find the win, and his cardio still looked good there. I think that he has a cardio advantage. I think that he has a grappling advantage here. It's no secret that could Almeida knock him out? Yeah. But I have to side with the grappler here and a guy that's going to relentlessly go for takedowns. I think that he's going to chain wrestle his ass off all fight long. And for that reason, I think that that's going to be too much for Almeida to deal with. Almeida got put on his ass against Lucas Fernando, I think his name was, on Dana White Contender Series. He got put on his ass by him. And I don't rate his wrestling or grappling very high. And so I think the Budka is going to do nasty things to him on the ground here.
I agree.
I think that there's going to be some opportunities for some ground and pound and potentially a rear naked choke.
I would love that by sub. I was looking into that number before. Right now they are. I just had that in front of me. Where did that go?
So at the current odds, what do you guys think the bet is for this fight?
Almeida plus odds. It was kind of a get the plus odds bet. I would not play Dylan Budka at this place. I think he should be like, I think he's good till minus 125. I think that's what I said in my Telegram.
And do you think it go over or under?
So Budka sub is only plus 350. I thought it'd be a little bit more.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think it goes over.
Yeah, I think so too. It's a late sub. If it's a finish, if not, it's probably going to a decision. To be honest, both got this.
Almeida knockout plus 400. I think it's decent.
Definitely,
I think that's the way to play him here.
Pretty good.
I agree. I like that too. All right, let's go on to our next fight. Next fight is Gene Matsumoto versus Dan Argueta. Gene Matsumoto, he's 14-0. He's 24-5-6 with a 69-inch reach. He is making his UFC debut here. Dan Argueta, 9-1. He's 30-5-7 with a 68-inch reach. He is out of Jackson Wink. He is 1-1 in the UFC. He's fought both Damon Jackson and Nick Aguirre. You can get the odds right now. Matsumoto is anywhere from minus 155 to minus 185. Argueta is anywhere from plus 150 to plus 135. Key, drop. Let us know first. Do you think Matsumoto is going to have the takedown defense to stop the relentless pressure of Argueta?
Yeah. So I actually, and multiple guys in the Discord too, in my Dub Club and Discord got plus 120 as the opener. So we smoked that line. At the time, I had not taken this fight, and I had known of Matsumoto, but really didn't know him that well. So I only had a unit on that. If I could go back, I would probably put 4. I think that this is an easy spot for him. I think the Argueta, I get it. He's a pace grappler. We know that he's going to continue to push a pace. We know he's going to continue to chain takedowns. But he's just so hittable. I mean, Miles Johns damn near put him in the grave. And I did actually have a bet on Ronnie Lawrence in that fight, so thank God that I got saved there. But overall, Argueta has not looked good over his UFC run, in my opinion. I think that he makes a lot of mistakes grappling. He seems a little overzealous and rushes positions a little too much. I think that Matsumoto is built like a tank. Leg kicks. I mean, he just does everything well. I mean, he's just a full package of MMA fighter, and what I think we're going to start to see more of in the sport period from a lot of these young guys that have been trained for years and years upon getting to the UFC. And so I think there's a Matsumoto spot. I think the UFC probably understands what they have in him. I'm kind of surprised. I know that KO at one time was plus 700. What is that now to plus 575? I think that's a way to play it. Argueta is the day has to come whenever he gets chinned. I mean, he's just taking shit to the head. Like it's the striking defense is absolutely disgusting. I'm not sure if he gets chinned here or what's the deal, but it has to come one day at plus 575. I don't mind a shot on that. And I also don't mind a shot at minus 157 money line. I think that's a great bet.
Yeah, definitely. That's where I played it too. You did a great job breaking it down. I got really nothing to add. Only thing I would add if I did is, like you said, Dan Argueta, when he gets hit, his head like snaps back too, so it looks better for the judges. Judges are going to see that more often, react probably better to that. And also, you know, if he does get taken down, he gets up quick. He's not one of those guys who tries to sit there and play games. He just get up as fast as possible, and I like that in this matchup. Jav, anything different for you to add?
Yeah, I like the same side as you guys. I think Matsumoto is the side. I know that Argueta is a popular dog this week. I understand the reasons because Matsumoto making his debut, you know, Argueta has wrestling, grappling upside. I think he can potentially get takedowns here. We know that he's probably going to force the takedowns. But like you guys said, yeah, Argueta's striking defense, like I would not even say that it's bad. I think he's a walking punching bag. Like I think that he has no striking whatsoever, and I think Matsumoto is actually a pretty good fighter. I think his striking is very good. Like he's doing a lot of the right thing. You know, the guy was, I think, a black belt in Muay Thai and a Muay Thai champion at like a very young age. Yep. I think he became like a 2-division champion outside the UFC, or 2 or 3 time champion in different organization, and he's super young. People talking bad about his level of competition. I don't think it's that bad. Like he was so young. Like I think 20 years old, and he was fighting people that has better record than him. So yeah, I think he's doing what he needs to do. I also love his cardio. He went 5 rounds a couple of times. It's important to mention, I think twice or 3 times, because we know that Argueta loves to weaponize his cardio. So normally he's kind of able to outpace people. And when he does, a guys like Miles John, who has bad cardio, he was not even able to out cardio him. And I think in this spot, I think that Matsumoto I think he has better cardio than Argueta, to be honest. And he's the way better striker. It's not even close when the fight's standing. Like I said, his takedown defense is decent, but I love his get-up game. I love his guillotine. They both have good guillotine, but like they're probably gonna jump guillotine a couple times, in my opinion, in this fight. So yeah, I don't think Argueta is gonna control him for a long period of time if the fight gets to the ground. And I think Matsumoto can potentially get on top and win some minutes because Argueta is playing off his back. So yeah, man. To me, at the end of the day, I think like all the striking upside is on the side of Matsumoto. I think the leg kick is gonna be nasty. Argueta doesn't check leg kick well. He's a walking punching bag. And there's no doubt in my mind that Matsumoto is going to be doing more damage. I think as the fight goes on, he's going to look good, even better. The leg kick's going to add up. I love his boxing combination. And the guy that he beat on Contender, like Tanner, he's a good guy. He's a good wrestler, and he had a good performance in that fight. So, yeah, man, I understand the Argueta love this week, but to me, it's like I think the line should be wider on Matsumoto.
I think so too. Talking about should be wider. Next fight we have is Cynthia Calvillo versus Piera Rodriguez. Cynthia Calvillo, we all know, is 9-6-1. She's 36, 5'4" with a 64-inch reach. She is 6-6-1 in the UFC. She is fighting Piera Rodriguez, who is 9-1. She's 31, 5'3" with 64-inch reach. She's 2-1 in the UFC, beating Kay Hansen and Sam Hughes. Only losses to Jillian Robertson. The action on these two women, you get Calvillo anywhere from plus 120 to pick 'em, and you get Rodriguez anywhere from minus 125 to minus 148. Low-level girls fight. Key, we're going to let you take this one first. I mean, Calvillo's gotta be the side, right?
So I got this line. I got Calvillo at plus 265 on Bovada. That line sat up there for multiple days before Bet Online dropped. I'm happy with plus 265. Honestly, right now at plus 113. Absolutely crazy. At plus 113, I'm still fine. I'm still fine being with Calvillo here. I think that she's a better fighter here. I know that these losses have been rough, but people also have to sort of take it into context of who she's losing to. I think that every girl that she's lost to is better than Piera. I think that Piera is honestly a flat out idiot. Grappling with Jillian Robertson. If you're not a super, super high level girl, is borderline a death sentence at this point. I thought that she didn't look good in that third round against Sam Hughes at all. I thought that the Kay Hansen fight was a little too close for my liking. And I will say that the Dana White Contender Series fight was a good look. I do think that Machado, also known as Tina Black, she just KO'd and flatlined a girl in Uriah Faber's organization. I think that she's a UFC fighter soon. But I do think that Calvillo's the side here. The volume, the feigning, the pressure. I think that she's just the smarter. She's the better fighter here. The only concern is the fact that she is how old at this point?
36.
36. Going to turn 37 in a few months. That's really the only concern here. And in women's MMA, I don't think the age, which we have a fight that later on we'll see, I don't think the age is necessarily one of the biggest factors here. I mean, we just watched 34 Manon put on a masterclass against 24-year-old Aaron Blanchfield. So I really don't factor age too much into this. Calvillo seems to be rejuvenated based off of interviews. Mitch Ramirez, who just got the shit kicked out of him by Moises. That's her boyfriend right now. They've been living together, training together. It seems like she's in a good place in her life. It seems like she understands that she's probably definitely fighting for her job here. And to be fair, I think that she looked good against Lupi. I really do. I think that she looked really, really solid against Lupi. I think that you can make arguments that she won that fight. Nunes was a bad look, and every other fight she's going against high level girls. I think that this is a levels fight, honestly. I'm not sure in women's MMA, unless you have serious traits, whether that be power or lights out grappling, it's hard to look like a wide favorite, period. So I think that this could be a closer fight, but at plus 265, this was an easy bet for me and my guys.
Yeah, well, who wouldn't bet an imaginary line, bro? I never saw plus 265 anywhere. I kind of agree with everything you said here. Sometimes what's happening in fight. Shout out for all the graphics, bro. Fight Talk Only. He does all our graphics. Does a great job with them. He does other people around the community as well. What I was saying was the only thing with Calvillo, like you said, the level of competition she fights is, pretty much unparalleled to Pereira, where she's fighting everyone who's anyone. But the thing is, it's like, what type of Calvillo you're going to get? You get tape that Calvillo looks like she's a top 10, top 5 fighter, and she's unbelievable. And then there's other times her punching and her striking looks slow. She kind of looks like she doesn't care. So it's like, which girl are you going to get? Like you said, I think there's a little fire under her because she's fighting for her job now. I think this is definitely a Calvillo side. I can't get myself there just yet, but she's definitely the side. Job, anything different?
No, not really, to be honest. To me, it's more about, the momentum and the loss streak of Calvillo that worry me. Like, she's 0-5 in the last 5 fights at the end of the day. Now, like you said, you need to factor who she's losing to. And I think she looked good in the Lupi fight as well. I think that was a close fight. But, she has a massive grappling advantage here, but she doesn't really use her grappling that much in her fights. That's kind of the problem, So, yeah, man, but I think Rodriguez fight IQ is bad. I don't think she's much of anything. I think Calvillo is the better striker, but the 5-fight losing streak and the 36 years old kind of worry me. She's fighting for a job here, though, so maybe she go out there and make a statement. But yeah, man, gotta be dog or pass. But the line is, I think the line might switch to a pick and come fight day. So yeah, I think he smoked the line. Like, you got what, plus 260 key, plus 265.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a no-brainer. But yeah, I didn't see line. I didn't see this line either, Key. So I don't know what to tell you. But me and Peg never saw that line.
Fightodds.io, buddy. Fuck y'all.
Yeah, right. Next fight
with you, bro.
Victor Hugo, 24-4, 31, 5'7" with a 71-inch reach. He's coming off of I don't know, what am I looking at? It's Nakamura Fight Club. It almost looks like a UFC trophy. This is his UFC debut. Victor Hugo. He's fighting now. He's got a new short notice opponent, Pedro Falcao. He is 16-3, 31, 5'6" with a 66-inch reach. Let's make this one quick, since obviously we didn't really have time to tape it. It got posted, an hour before the show. I think Hugo's the side. He had a camp ready. Victor Hugo's good off his back. He's good standing. He's good all around. He's got a gas tank that goes for 15 minutes. Probably could go 25. Pretty high on the guy. With a full camp, getting a guy on short notice. I think Victor Hugo's the side. I believe the odds on these two gentlemen are, I think Hugo's minus 160 and the other guy is minus or plus 125 or something like that. I don't have it directly in front of me, but I think Hugo's definitely the side here for this. Job, anything different?
Yeah, I mean, to say he can go 25 minutes is kind of crazy. He has suspect cardio, in my opinion, Hugo.
When has he showed that? When have you seen suspect cardio?
I mean, he's finishing people, but like the last time he went the distance was 5 years ago, and he doesn't go the distance often. And when he goes the distance, he's like at 155, 170. A lot of different weight class. Now he's at bantamweight, so I have a lot of suspicion about his cardio being good, especially for 25 minutes. If I'm being honest, but yeah, I didn't tape Falcao, to be honest. I know him a little bit. He's a decent fighter all around, but to me, the kind of thing that I'm looking at is when you look at his record, he has 3 MMA fights in the last 4 years, so he has been inactive. I watched his last fight quickly. He did look good in that one, but I didn't run back the other tape. So, 3 days short notice, and the market or the people looks to be high on him because he's plus 110 and Hugo's minus 130 on a full camp, and he's super dangerous. So, I'm gonna need to look more into that one to see what's up with him. And the over 1.5 round is minus 185. Yeah, nothing much for me here. I got to say, I think Hugo win first look, but I need to look more into it personally.
Yeah, I'll be betting Hugo. This line's coming way too close. I'll be taking it. Key, how about you? Anything different here?
Yeah, so I got Hugo opener at plus 230. I'm joking. Yeah, I haven't taped this fight. I probably will get to Hugo's side depending on after I tape this and see what this line continues to stay at. But I'm not in a rush to play this fight. But yeah, solid fight. Hope it's a banger.
Yeah, it's going to be a banger for sure. All right, next fight is another girls fight. I wouldn't call this a low-level girls fight because of the two girls in it, but it's a girls fight at that. It's Norma Dumont. She's 10-2. She's 33, 5'7" with a 67-inch reach. She is 6-2 in the UFC. She is fighting Germaine de Randamie. She is 10-4. She's 39, 5'9", 72.5-inch reach. She's 7-2 in the UFC. She's fought the who's who of the UFC. She is also coming off a 4-year layoff and a pregnancy. Right now, you can find these girls. Dumont is anywhere from minus 147 to minus 170. Randamie is anywhere from, I just call her GDR, is anywhere from plus 135 to plus 120. You know the deal, Key. Take us away for this girls fight.
Yeah. So last time we saw GDR, Pena was laying lifeless on the canvas.
Yes,
I think that this is a GDR spot. I personally couldn't pull the trigger. It's just hard for me to think about pulling a trigger after you're coming close to 4 years off, pregnancy, all sorts of crazy shit. Who knows what else was going on in personal life. That's just super, super hard for me to back. And although we did talk about earlier, age not mattering, and I do think that she's probably on some of the best Brazilian acai you can find. I don't think that this is a spot. I think that Dumont, the way in which that she lures people into very low volume bullshit fights is honestly like one of the best skills that I've seen in women's MMA. How low volume she forces her fights to be is amazing. I mean, to turn a Chelsea Chandler fight into a snooze after bonking her is hilarious. Her bonking the U.S. boxing Olympic girl Danielle Wolf was also hilarious to watch on tape. I can't get to a GDR bet here. Kudos to everybody who can. I just have too many questions at these close of odds. I can't do it personally. Maybe an earlier line. What did it drop at on Bet Online? 182. Yeah, if you touch 180 range, 170 range, kudos to you. But it currently now, no, she can definitely win a decision. I think that she definitely can. But I don't know if this is a spot for her. What do y'all think that they do with her if she wins here?
God, throw her up the rankings, I guess. Give her. Well, I mean, I can't even tell you.
GDR and Aldana. What do y'all line that fight?
Ooh, that's a tough one. That's a close fight.
Yeah,
I don't know. Minus 130 plus 115. Probably. I'd give it to Aldana being the favorite.
Yeah, because it's to me just hard to know because of inactivity, because of pregnancy, because of the age. Like there's a lot of unknowns for this fight to me. Just it's hard to be confident. So I understand that like plus 180, plus 190 when she was the big underdog. You don't really need to be like that confident just because I think she's the better fighter. She's more dangerous. And I mean, if she was in her prime still, that was like an easy spot for her in this one. But we just don't really know how she's gonna come back after. Like, is she coming back for a check? I don't think so. But I think dumb truck Dumont might win a decision here. Who knows, right?
We are a Dumont podcast. We've bet her multiple times. I know you have. I have too. So I think it's gonna be an interesting fight. What it comes down to me with girls' fights, and Manning kind of did this perfectly. But a huge factor in girls' fight, right? It's height, it's physicality, and it's reach. Girls in guys' fight doesn't matter as much. Guys can outpower, find their way around it. When it comes to girls, I feel like girls take more advantage of that and use that to their ability, and kind of struggle getting around those type of things depending on the fighter. Like, for example, I think the reach advantage is kind of crazy for this fight. If I'm not mistaken, I just said she has a 5-inch reach and a 3-inch height. So let's see, she's 5'7", 67-inch reach. GDR is 5'9" with a 73-inch reach. So she has a 6-inch reach advantage and a 2 to 3-inch height advantage. So she's going to be the bigger woman in here. It's not like Dumont has these crazy takedowns where she's taking people down and winning top time and stuff like that. Like, her takedowns aren't great. So I think GDR's aside here. Couldn't get myself there. I want to get myself there, but I just can't. Let's just move on to the next. Court McGee, 21-12. He's 39, 5'11" with a 75-inch reach. He's fighting Alex the Great White Morono. Alex Morono is 23-9. He's 33, 5'11" with a 72-inch reach. Right now, these guys are, I think they're more towards the end of their career. You can get Morono anywhere from -290 to -340. You can get Court McGee anywhere from +253 to +230. Javi, you go first. What do you take for this old man's ball game here?
I don't think Morono's that old. I think he's 33. What is? Yeah, I think
33. But he's been around forever. I mean, like, he's been around forever. He's 12-6 in the UFC. He's got 18 UFC fights.
For sure. Yeah, he has a lot of experience. I think McGee's kind of washed. And he had a good chin before, but now he's getting back-to-back knockout loss in the first round. That's kind of hard to me to back him in any spot, even if he's a big. He
used to be durable.
Yeah, he was durable. So he's 39. And then you look his record to the submission. He's 11-9 to the decision. I think he has a wrestling upside here. I don't think Morono has the best takedown defense, but Morono has very good BJJ and a very good guillotine. But I know that McGee has never been submitted. I don't know what's gonna happen here. I think Morono win. I'm not sure if he's finishing him or if he's gonna win a decision, but I think he should win. But if McGee try to wrestle heavy, I think it can get interesting. And Morono is a guy that I love to bet when he's an underdog. But now we're talking about -350, I think, -300. Yeah, I think it's, as he would say, I think it's a little bit of nasty work if you put him in parlay. He's not a guy that I want to back at massive chalk like that. He has a suspect chin himself at time, Yeah, but I think he's a better fighter at this point. He should win. He should look good. I'm just not confident if he's going to finish him or not. So,
I think he finds the finish just because, like you said, the chin issue. Court McGee's chin is looking pretty much gone. The last knockout was pretty brutal. That was Alex Hernandez, right? Was he knocked him out last? Or was it
Alex Hernandez? He's not in the division.
No, who was it that knocked Court McGee out?
Matt Brown, yeah. And Wells after that.
Jeremiah Wells. Okay, gotcha.
Alex Hernandez just put him out. Oh, damn, he's done.
Yeah, right. So I agree. I think he's kind of washed here at this point, Court McGee. I think Morono's live for a finish, but I'm not touching this guy at any price that he's at right now. Key, you think anything different here? We're talking about Court McGee and Morono.
No, I think that Morono as a parlay piece is nasty work this week. I don't.
Did you hear me, or were you there like a minute ago, or you was not in the video? That's. Okay, so as he would say, Morono -15 of parlays, nasty work, and then you just say it again. So you guys know I know my boy Key, right? So,
you know me well. But yeah, it's definitely nasty work this week. I mean, the Ponzi fight was just absolutely hilarious for him to look good the whole time on short notice and then just get absolutely fucking touched and look like he's having a stroke until he dies against Ponzi was just insane. I was there live for the Tim Means fight. That guillotine was beautiful. And I believe I backed him against Buckley, sadly. And Buckley straight up cooked me in that fight. I'm not betting Morono here. Funny chin. McGee is old as dirt. This isn't a good fight to bet, in my opinion. The ultimate pass for me.
Yeah, I agree. All right, next fight. Twitter's main event, or one of the other main events of the week. We got Trevor Peek. The other main event. Trevor Peek. He's 9-1, 29-5-9 with a 70-inch reach. He is 2-1 in the UFC so far. He's fighting Charlie the Cannibal Campbell. He is 8-2. He's 28, 6 feet tall, the 73-inch reach. Right now, you get the odds on these guys. Minus 175 to minus 199 for Campbell. You can get plus 164 to plus 140 for Peek. So money's coming in on Peek. I'll have you two go first about your boy Campbell, and I'll tell you why you're wrong and where you're going to lose your money. Who wants to start out of you two? Anyone care to start?
I can go.
All right, you go first, Key.
So again, another opener that we smoked on Bovada in my Dub Club in Discord. Charlie Campbell plus 120. We got that. I mean, we got that completely removed off the board in 10 minutes. Free money. I think that I wish I would have absolutely nuked this line, but I touched it before taping it just because I knew it was a crazy line. After taping, there's zero doubt in my mind that Campbell completely cleans him up here. He has real boxing, real technique, a real rhythm, in my opinion, to his boxing. It's educated, and he did show a lot more patience against Reyes in that fight, trying to find the finish compared to the Duncan fight where he got deaded. I think that shows a lot of growth there. He picks his shots well. He rolls with punches. I mean, he's a really, really solid fighter. And at this level in the UFC, this low to mid-tier level, I think that he's going to clean a lot of guys up, in my opinion. You need somebody that has real power and real grappling to really give him some problems. And Peek has real power, but it doesn't help that he fights like a drunk uncle. So I think that this is an easy Campbell spot, in my opinion. Even at these odds, what are they currently? Minus 175?
Minus 175 to minus 199. Then it's plus 140 for Peek.
Yeah, Campbell should be minus 250 here, in my opinion. The hands are way too clean. I think that he can grapple if he chooses to. And I think that's probably the path of least resistance. He got deaded once. I mean, I think that shot from Duncan takes out damn near anybody if you run right into it. So I don't think that Peek has it. I think that the jig is up for Peek. The Yaya performance was nasty as fuck. So yeah, there's the Campbell side. I got plus 120 for 3 units. I'll take that every day of the week.
Josh,
hey, what do you have to say about it? No, you need to.
No, I want you to go first so I can close out.
No, I need you to respond to that. Like, what do you have to say about that? That was a good breakdown.
So I pretty much agree with everything everything Keith said. You know, if you look at this fight on paper, Charlie Campbell is the better striker. He's a better grappler. He's got better BJJ. He's got better timing. He's got we don't really know about his cardio, to be honest. You don't. You're going to say, 15 years ago, we went 3 rounds. That's great.
We do know about his cardio, Peg.
Well, you don't really know about his cardio. He hasn't been outside the first round in multiple years.
Peg,
on paper, he should look minus 300. He should be minus 300. But there's a certain capper who will say the intangibles, right? Let's talk about the intangibles. So the intangibles here is Trevor Peek's dog in him, okay? That's something that a lot of people aren't factoring in here, and that's going to weigh a lot because Charlie Campbell's one of those guys where he said he has rhythm. I disagree. I think when he's striking, he's very stiff. He holds his head high. He doesn't really flow or move. His head stays on a straight line, and that's one of those things where that's kind of what fucked him against Duncan. We're kind of looking at a mirror matchup, just like the Duncan fight, where he's going to be way better than him everywhere. He's going to hurt Trevor Peek. Trevor Peek's not one of those guys who covers up when he gets hurt. He just swings as hard as he can. He may catch you with a forearm. He may catch you with his wrist. He may catch you with a fist. Who knows? But he's going to swing as hard as he can. That type of thing is where I would be worried here, because he can get hit. We also see now that John Jones and TJ Dillashaw reached out for what's that guy Torres from the Dana White Contender Series? We all bet on him. The short, stocky, muscular guy.
Yeah.
They got Dwayne Ludwig and the Onyx team and those two camps in touch with Trevor Peek and Torres. They're both up there now. They're the one wrestling coach, Coach Bowling, who was a coach for GSP, TJ, all them wrestling. They did their full camp up at Elevation. I think it's going to help with Peek's cardio, not that it was an issue. And I think this becomes a dogfight. We see, the thing that was wrong with the Yaya fight, which made it so close, was that I think Peek actually tried to be a clean, calculated fighter. He actually tried to fight and, do things right versus letting himself go. He's one of those guys, like Nate the Train says, all the dogs bark in the backyard. You just got to let the dogs out, bro. So I think Campbell could get caught coming in if he hurts Peek. People say the grappling upside's there. I completely agree. Peek's a pretty strong and athletic guy, though. So when he gets down, he kind of just stands right. He's one of those guys that just stands right back up. And I think the line's a little wide. Don't get me wrong. I think, like I said, I kind of just think this dog factor is going to be way more, and we're kind of going to see what is Campbell going to look like when he hurts Peek in the first round, doesn't finish him, and gets out of the first round. And it's like, oh, fuck, I didn't finish him. Now what? And I think the fight will get a lot uglier. Also, it's going to be a little tougher in my opinion, for Campbell to pick him apart, because Peek's not one of those guys that you can kind of just pick apart because he doesn't give a shit. He'll get hit 100 times. He'll keep coming at you relentlessly. So you really got to kill him to get rid of him. I don't know. That's my take. I'm taking the dog shot here. He's one of my least favorite dogs on out of the ones I picked on my slate, but I'm riding with my dog, Trevor Peek. Javi, you can counter with whatever you got.
Yeah, I think your cardio thoughts are a little bit crazy because, Campbell has been to decision more than Peek in his pro MMA career. And the times that we have seen Peek go, look at him, he's looking at Tapology because he doesn't believe me. The time that Peek went the distance with Chepe, he looks bad. He looks gassed. His cardio is not very good either. His cardio looked better in his last fight, but to say that he has a cardio advantage that's a bit of a crazy take to me. I think Campbell has good cardio. I don't think he has bad cardio, but he's the much better fighter. He's the much better striker. He's way more technical. His striking is very good. He got caught against Duncan 2 years ago, but he's going to learn from that. He got caught, but he was killing the guy. Everybody's talking about him getting caught, but reality is he was killing him and he made a mistakes and he got caught. Anything can happen. That's MMA. But yeah, I think the guy's really good. I bet his KO last time out. I think he's a very good fighter. And I think Peek, like you said, he got that dog in him, that's for sure. But I just don't think that he's very skilled. I think he has bad takedown defense. Now you're kind of counting on him improving because he moved from another camp. But to me, if I didn't see anything on tapes that tell me that he's improving, I can just assume that he's going to be better now, So you have the way better fighter, the guy that has more way to win in Campbell. But you got Peek, who has that dog in him, like you said, that can cut. That is path to victory to me, is to cut Campbell, to knock him out. And I think Campbell can potentially submit him, but Peek has no neck. He's hard to submit. And Campbell he can knock him out, but it's going to be hard because Peek is very hard to finish. But the dude's getting hit a lot. He has no defense, but he has a good chin. And like I said, I don't think his cardio is very good either. So that's going to be a good fight. I'm excited for this one. And I can't wait to see who was right at the end of the show.
I know, me too. Okay, so let's move on. Next fight we have is, oh my God, I can't even believe this is a real fight. We have Walter Walker versus Lucas Brzeski. Walter Walker is 11-0. He's Johnny Walker's bigger little brother. He's 26, 6'6", with an 81-inch reach. He is fighting, like I said, Luke Brzeski, who's 8-4-1. He's 31, 6'4", with a 78.5-inch reach. The odds right now on these two guys, you can get Walker anywhere from -259 to minus 258. Holy, this dropped a lot from even when I looked before. It's -258 to -295. You can get Brzeski anywhere from +250 to +215. Jav, you break this down first. I mean, we can agree that Walter Walker on tape, if you watch the tape, is just is horrible. He's atrocious as a fighter. I don't even know how else to put it. What do you think?
It's hard to say because a lot of these heavyweight guys that are low level, a lot of them are kind of horrible on tapes, you know.
Yeah.
I think he has a lot of good things for a heavyweight. Like, he's very big, he's strong, he has wrestling, he can get on top, and he can ground and pound people, you know, and he has some power on the feet, and he has good chin, you know. So I think that's good things for a heavyweight. And he's super young, he's 26. That's very young for an heavyweight. And he has won the distance a couple times. He's undefeated, you know. So to me, based on his record on Tapology, I thought that he had good cardio. And in one of the fights that I've watched, after like 4 minutes, he was like that.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, what's going on here? And like, he kind of pushed through it, though. I got to give it to him. Like, he's tired, but he pushed through it. He has explosion. He's not bad for a heavyweight, but I don't think he's skilled. But he still has good weapons to beat a lot of these low level heavyweights. You know, I think the skills gap in these division are way lower. And then I don't rate Brzeski as a fighter, you know. So I think in this spot, I think Walker should win. I think he has a wrestling upside. He's the bigger guy. He's more dangerous. I think he's more durable. Brzeski's coming back after a bad knockout loss. So yeah, I understand Walker. I think he should be the favorite, but he was -400 at some point. I had no interest, but I see a lot of love for Brzeski. And I think if Walker get to like -200 or something, I think it can be a decent parlay piece. Now he's -260, but like at -3, -400, I don't think it's playable. But I don't like the dog either. And another thing, he's Johnny Walker brother, but they don't fight nothing alike. And I find it weird because on tapes, he has another name and he was like a Russian. So he switched his last name to Walker and now he's listed as a Brazilian. So is this dude?
He's definitely Walker's brother. They kind of look alike.
I mean, if you look like on his tapes, he was fighting guys. He was listed as a Russian.
Yeah.
The same last name. And now he's listed as a Brazilian with Walker last name. So I was like, what the fuck, dude? But yeah. I think he should win. But yeah, it's kind of a tricky fight if you ask me.
I think he has that Russian because of his he was at Gore MMA before that's where he started his like MMA career, was over in Russia. I think he kind of just tried to run with that and hopefully he came trying to become a star in Russia. I think that was kind of his goal. Key, you got anything different here for this low level heavyweight fight?
Oh, I think that Brzeski at +300 to +350 was a solid bet. But this is absolutely a pass.
He's got his abs back too. If you guys saw recent photos, he's not fat anymore. He's jacked, and he was that before he came to the UFC when he was on the juice.
Yeah, we need to remember, like, this guy got caught because he was on steroids, I think, for Contender Series, right?
I love that.
Yeah,
love that.
Sure.
Yeah, respect. Yeah, I love that.
He got caught because of that, and now USADA is gone, and now he looks good, shredded, and he has abs again. So who knows, right?
Dude, let the boys play. Let the boys. I'm kind of like, people are like pro and con steroids. My thought process is like, if you let everyone hop on gear, like, what's the difference? Now it's just, instead of everyone not being on it, everyone's on it. It doesn't, like, if everyone's doing it, it makes it level. So I don't know. That's my thought process on it. Plus fights to get a little fucking crazier. Next fight here. Ignacio Bahamondes, 14-5, 26-6'3" with a 75-inch reach. He's fighting Christos Giagos, 20-11, 34, 5'10" with a 72-inch reach, with a negative record in the UFC, 6-7. Odds right now on these two gents, you can get Bahamondes anywhere from -318 to -340, 350. Giagos is anywhere from +275 to +235. I know I just let Drav start us off. Key, you start us. Actually, 1 second. Let me look at the rest of the slate. Yeah, actually, Key, you start us off first because I'm going to let Drav start us off with the French guy.
Yeah, so this is the Baja spot for me.
Yes, sir.
I think that Baja's the side here, but not how most people would think. I don't think that he's the side at money line price on books. -3 was it -330?
Did you just see Peg face? He's like, oh, okay, fuck. He's like, yes, fuck.
But yeah, -330. I don't think that's a disgusting price in my opinion. Especially after he just had that weird ass fight against Klein.
We see how good Klein is now after his last bout.
That's calm down. He beat the shit out of AJ Cunningham. I mean, yeah, come on.
He destroyed him.
But I will give him credit. Klein has looked good, and he fought a really, really well, a good fight and a good game plan against Baja. But I'm still very high on Bahamondes. I think that he has all the tools to be elite in this division. I think that Giagos at money line side maybe is the side. But I played this on Prize Picks over 95.5 fancy score. I line that personally at about a -200 to -250 prop. You can get that at pretty much -137 to -119 on Prize Picks. I think that that's the way to play this fight personally, just because money line is a little nasty. I do think that, I mean, it's obviously he's going to have the better cardio. If Christos can get his wrestling going a little early, there's potential that this fight could get closer than odds than this money line. But for me, from a money line perspective, there's no real room for Baja to drop around at -330. That's not what you want out of a -330. You don't want to say, oh, he may not look good early. No, I want my -330 to look good for all 15 fucking minutes. If that's
you want him to get a finish.
Exactly. Honestly. And so, but I think that the kicks to the body, I think that the volume is just going to be too much. Christos, cardio is a little suspect. Chin is a little suspect. He's been getting finished 3 out of his last 4 gotten finished. I think that he beats low-level guys. I just don't think that Baja is a low-level guy, but I can't blame anybody who takes a dog shot at +270. That's a pretty crazy price in my opinion. But yeah, so value's going Baja on Prize Picks. On books, I think is Christos.
Yes, Drop, you go. Obviously, you took the dog shot on Christos. Tell us why.
Yeah, that was my free bet for this week. So I'm going to give you guys the breakdown, the +268 breakdown, because I'm not parlaying -350 like Keith said, because I do think it's nasty work, and Peg's going to try to explain himself of why he parlay him at -340 after. Can Bahamondes win? Can he potentially finish him? Yeah, of course. He's -350. Don't get me wrong. He has better cardio. He's longer. He's a good striker. He's a good fighter. And I don't think I've ever bet against Bahamondes before. I like him as a fighter. But in this fight, first of all, like he said, like that exactly, you want a guy, when you lay a big favorite, a big number like that, you want a guy that is going to either win all the rounds or is going to find a finish at a pretty high clip. And in this particular fight, I think Giagos win the first round at a decent clip personally. Like, he's a good fighter. Like, he won the first round against Zellhuber. He clipped him. And I think Zellhuber and Bahamondes are similar fighter, but I do think Zellhuber recovery and takedown defense is better than Bahamondes. I think it's a trickier matchup than Bahamondes. So he just had a similar style of matchup, who I think is harder than Bahamondes. And he was looking good until he got caught and kind of gassed out, which is my other point, because he did talk in interviews that when he kind of get tired, he forced takedowns, he make bad decisions because he's stressed. And now he kind of wants to be more calm, more composed. He realized that it was costing him fights, and he worked about the mental aspect. He said that he has a mental coach to work on that. That's something that he did train for the first time in his career, because like I said, again, when he's losing, it's because he's making bad decisions, he's forcing takedown, and then he's getting sub. Then you guys talk about the the fact that he lost a lot. That's true that he lost a lot in the UFC. But then you look against who he lost against, like Arman Sarukian, Charles Oliveira. Of course, he's gonna finish. And he lost against Zeuber, who I do rate as a fighter. I think he's a top 15 guy. And he's beating all the other guys. I think Bahamondes has potential to look good as distance, but I think that Giagos, I think he has power. He has power for sure, so he can clip Bahamondes. And we have seen Klein clip Bahamondes early, and it affected Bahamondes, and he didn't recover properly after the first round. I think he didn't look as good as he normally look. So that's the first thing. Then all the grappling and the wrestling upside, more the wrestling upside, to be clear, is on the side of Giagos. Bahamondes is not shooting takedowns. I think Giagos can potentially get him down. And Bahamondes has good front chokes. You need to be careful. He has long arms. So I think he's live to find a sub. But then he has only one sub in his career, and the sub is like plus 350. It's nasty to play that. If you want, you can play Bahamondes sub 2, sub 3, or just the round 2, round 3. I think that's the way to play him. But because, like I said, I love his front choke series. But yeah, you have a guys in Giagos that is gonna win the first round at a high clip, that has more experience in the UFC, fought better competition, all the wrestling upside. I think he wins the first round. I think he can clip Bahamondes. I think he's even live to finish him in the first round. Yeah, so I understand why Bahamondes is the favorite, but to put him higher than minus 200, it's wide to me. It's hard to trust Giagos. I understand that, but I just have to take a shot at these odds. It's also worth mentioning because I think he can go the distance. Like, I'm not too confident that somebody's gonna find a finish. And all I hear about is Bahamondes has way better cardio, and he's for sure gonna win a decision. The reality is he's 4-3 to the decision compared to Giagos, who's 8-3 to the decision. So I think that if they go the distance, it's probably going to be a 29-28 close decision. And do you rather be on the minus 350 or the plus 268? I did pick my spot here. My spot here on the big underdog, and I think he has a good chance to take it.
Yeah, I played him in a parlay I played Bahamondes in a parlay with Alex Hernandez, gets you plus 102. Bahamondes he's live to knock him out in round 1, round 2, round 3. He's live to sub him round 1, round 2, round 3. Kind of like Drav said, he kind of took the words and my talking points right out of my mouth. I like his front choke series, whether it's going to be a Darce choke, a Bravo choke, or an Anaconda choke. Don't be surprised if he finishes Giagos the same way that Zellhuber did. Drav made another good point about the sub usually coming sub round 2, round 3, because I mean, Giagos always shoots questionable shots in when he goes to wrestle. Round 1, you're probably a little less likely to get subbed, but once he gets tired, they get sloppier and sloppier, and that's where I think I think yeah, he's got a busted ass like mouth of teeth. I know what he's talking about. But yeah, I think he's live for the KO, live for the sub. I think Bahamondes. Am I worried if he lose? I think round 1 is going to be very telling. Either Bahamondes is going to come out and look pretty good throughout, the whole fight and getting started, or he's going to find himself subbed and sleeping or KO'd. One of the two.
I think Bahamondes dropped the first round. Giagos looks super good, and the second round, Bahamondes is like minus 125. So if you guys want to bet him alive, I think it's better than playing his money line. And I think round 2 is better than playing the money line like Peg did, because I think he's going to need to come back after being down on the first round or losing the fights and make a comeback. But you're paying minus 350 for that? Based on my read, I think it's crazy. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm willing to take a shot, plus 270.
I also think the UFC is setting Bahamondes up. They want him to get a win under his belt and move up the ladder. So I think it's also
but it doesn't always go like the UFC want. Like they were setting up Mike Malott to beat Neil Magny.
Well, they're just setting up Buckley, and they paid Luque enough money to just pull guard and then get the easy finish with not a scratch on him and completely okay. It's amazing. Is he talking about the plug yourself? Is that what he's talking about?
I think so.
Oh, something about Drake.
Oh, wait. You did make a Drake comment. Yeah, you did make a Drake.
When he's swinging his dick. That's what I was talking about. That video.
Yeah. You have
I made Dravi watch it.
Yeah,
on stream.
you have this video saved in your cell phone, Peg.
Yeah.
That's okay, whatever, it's fine.
All right, next fight. We got Chepe Mariscal versus Morgan Pierre. I believe they call him, right? Pierre,
Charriere.
not
Charriere.
right. What is it?
Charriere.
Yeah, but I think they say Pierre or something like that. I don't know.
Charriere. But yeah, whatever.
Right. Morgan Charriere, whatever. He's 19-9-1. He's 28-5-8 with a 69-inch reach. He's fighting Chepe, another massive dog, like dogging him dog. Mariscal, 15-6, 31-5-7 with a 69-inch reach. The odds on these two guys, we have Morgan's anywhere from -113 to -125. Mariscal's anywhere from +110 to actually -102 on some books, or -105. So he's slowly flipping to a dog. A favorite. I'm sorry. So Dravi, break down our Frenchman first. I mean, coming from a tactical technique standpoint, I think this is Morgan's going to pick this guy apart. No brainer. Chepe wants to make it dirty, and if he does, it's going to be more in his favor. But if Morgan fights his fight where he's super clean, I don't think there's a chance. I think he's going to look -250. What do you think?
I think everybody, you're not the first one to say that Chip is the only one that can win a dogfight here, that he needs to make it a dogfight. Have you guys watched Shia tapes? Like the dude has been in a dogfight, and he's a dog himself. So it's kind of crazy to all say that.
I just think that the dog fight is the only way Chepe really wins. Like if it's a tactical distance, he's going to get destroyed. He's going to get sniped apart.
Yeah, but I'm not even sure you win a dog fight here. That's my point. Like I think Charriere's the dog himself, and I think he's more durable. Like everybody's saying that Chepe can be finished, but he has been finished multiple times. It just have not been in the UFC so far. We all bet Jenkins, I think, last time, and Jenkins was on his way to win. I think he's going to talk about that soon. And then he got he injured himself. That was because of Chepe, but still, he kind of, I think he broke his arm or something. I think it was his shoulder, but whatever. So that's not like that's not really a win, to me.
No.
And then he beat Peak, who that was a good fight, but still, that was a bit of a crazy fight. But to his credit, that was, I think, on short notice and up a weight class. So props to him. And I think he's a good fighter. Don't get me wrong. He fought good competition before the UFC. So now the other talk that I'm hearing is Charriere fight strength of schedule is bad. He fought lower level guys. It's not even true. Like he fought good people in the regional. If you would just look at it together, just real quick. So he has only been submitted once, never been KO. Okay, so he's 11-0 to the KO, and he's 5-8 to the decision. That's another talking point that I need to talk about. Yeah, he's 5-8 to the decision. He was not good at winning minutes, and not really minutes, but he was not very good at winning a decision before. But then, if you look a little bit deeper into that, most of these decision loss are 5-rounders and split decision. Like 4 of them are split decision. So, yeah, I think that's important to mention because he's losing 5-rounders because he's slowed down in the championship rounds. And he's losing against good guys like Paul Hughes. You guys know Paul Hughes? He's a very good fighter, and he's probably going to be in the UFC the next 2 years. He lost to him a fight that he could have won. Like, that was very close, So that was a majority decision. And he lost another split decision before that against a guy who's 12-2, who was a good fighter himself. So, and then you need to go in 2019 to go his other loss against a guy who's 12-1, who is now 6-1. Okay. And that's another loss by majority decision. Then you scroll a little bit down. He lost another decision, a majority decision against a guy who's a lower level guy. But that was in 2018. And Charriere is only 28 years old. So that was a couple years ago when he was younger and he was not as good as he is now. So, his record, you need to be a little bit careful about, and you just go watch the fight. Don't wiki-cap it. It's crazy. So yeah, Charriere's the way better striker. I think he's more durable. I think he has good takedown defense and balance, so he's going to be able to keep the fight standing, where he has more tools on the feet. Like he has way more tools to win on the feet than Chepe. I talk about the decision loss. He's only 28 years old, and I think he's entering the kind of prime of his career right now. And if he go to the ground, I think Chepe can potentially win some minutes, but he doesn't have good top control. He has decent body lock, but I do rate Charriere's sub defense. I think it's pretty good. And if Charriere gets on top, he has nasty ground and pound, like Peg said, Chepe kind of need to fight inside to win the moments and to control him in the clinch. But I think Charriere is going to be too physical for him. I think he's going to be too technical for him. The jab's going to be there. The leg kicks are very nice, and it's going to be a good weapon here. I know Chepe checked them well, but still that's going to be there. Also, the body is wide open from Chepe. I think the body kicks, the knee is going to be landing all night. I don't agree with the line movement. I think the line should be wider on Charriere. I think he should be around -200, in my opinion. I think
do something about it. Do something about it, Joff. Move the line.
I think Chepe path to victory is like a 29-28 type decision that is close, So yeah, I think Charriere's the side here. He's live to find a finish, but I think he might win a decision. I'm not too sure about the way that he wins.
Yeah. All right, Key. What do you think? Anything different there?
So I think that this is Charriere's side. I got again +110 on Bovada early. I think that he's good until about -150 range. I'm kind of shocked to see the line movement the way it's going. I didn't think he would ever get down to as low as -115 again. I think that this is his fight to lose. If the UFC is smart, they understand how big of a star this guy can be, especially in France, which I hope that they put him on the Paris card coming up.
Looks like a little Uzi vert.
Yeah, and so we hopefully I think that he's the side here. I had Jack Jenkins against Chepe. I damn near threw my table off the balcony after that. I think it was his elbow or whatever dislocated, just completely just fell to the ground like he died. Respect to Jack. I think that he has a bright future too coming up. But I think that this is Charriere's fight to lose. I think that Chepe is a dog, but I just don't think that he's on the same technical level as Charriere. I think that he's a slicker and smoother striker here. I think that he's going to win minutes. The body kicks versus Zucchini were just fucking beautiful. I think that he's going to get those off, and I think that Jack Jenkins showed some good work in that round one against Chepe at range. If Chepe's smart, he's going to try to clinch as much as possible and just make this super ugly. And I think that is his path. But like Drav said, Morgan's been in some dog fights, man. Like, just watch a lot of those Cage Warriors title fights. He's been in some dog fights versus guys who will be top 15 range in the UFC. Like, Jordan and Paul Hughes will both be top 15 range guys in the UFC. And strength of schedule cannot be questioned here, in my opinion.
So why don't we all put 4 units on him right now?
This guy.
This guy. Or +100. Let's do it. We'll do it together. It's a squad ride.
Oh, fuck out of here. But yeah, Charriere's aside, good till -150. I love -115 right now.
I agree. I got +100 on Bovada. These guys broke it down perfectly. There's nothing more to say. I think he's definitely the side. Good to minus, like you said, 150, if not more. I think this is next fight. Let's get on next fight. Alexander the Great Ape, because you have to add that because he can't take Volk's name. Alexander Hernandez, 14-7, 31, 5'9", 72-inch reach, is fighting Damon Jackson, who's 22-6, 35, 5'11", with a 71-inch reach. Action on these two guys. Hernandez is anywhere from -190 to -210, 225 actually. Damon Jackson anywhere from +173 to +155. I'll start us off on this one. I mean, listen, Alex, he went up to I believe he went to Factory X up in Denver, got his cardio under control. His striking, he's always had power. His striking's only getting cleaner. His wrestling's there. I think the dog in him really came about in like he's always kind of had the dog, but it really came about when, a guy like Jim Miller has your back and has a full lock choke in, and he didn't tap. He fought through it, powered through it. That was really like a testing point in round 3 when you're drained and not giving up like that. Shows he's not like that young kid anymore. He's really grown up. I think he's matured as well. Damon Jackson, on the other hand, complete downtrend. You're losing to guys like Billy Q, who is completely fallen off a cliff when it comes to, any sort of MMA relevancy at this rate, to be completely honest with you. He got knocked out by Dan Ige. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, Dan Ige is Dan Ige. Beat Pat Sabatini. I mean, a strong breeze like we got over here in Connecticut right now. 50-mile-per-hour winds could knock out Pat Sabatini. And then I guess Dan Argueta is a good win. But like I said, if you can cancel his wrestling, I'm not done. If you can cancel his wrestling, easy win. So
what I'm talking is because I'm sure you didn't even remember that, Peg, but Argueta was A, on short notice, and 2, up a weight class making his debut.
I didn't even tape that one. I didn't want to see. I knew Alex Hernandez was going to beat Damon Jackson from the second the line came out. I was pissed. I waited and didn't get minus 160 when it dropped on Bovada, and I waited and then had to play. It forced me to parlay him and play Bahamondes in a parlay at minus 350. It was a forced play. So that's my breakdown on it. I think Alex Hernandez looks great here. This is his push. If he's going to win this fight and kind of get himself going in the right trajectory, getting into the ranks and trying to work his way up, he's got all the tools to do it. I don't see why he can't. He was just a young, cocky kid when he first came into the UFC, got humbled by the old man in Cowboy, and then I think now he's in a way better spot. Key, you go next. What do you think about this one? Anything different?
In 2024, in this economy, I refuse to put my hard-earned money on Alex Hernandez at favorite money. I refuse to do it.
Oh, you don't want to play him minus 225 here?
Oh, fuck no. I would like Hernandez is a guy that I'd like betting as a dog. Minus 190, I just feel like I'm asking for something stupid to happen. Do I think that he wins here? Yes. I think that he bonks him first round, honestly. I played him on Prize Picks in a plus 900 slip. Nice. I think that he's a side here. Minus 190, I can't get to it. I really can't. Round 1 KO is plus 335. I think that that's a decent look if you're confident that he really just physically is just too much for Damon here. Damon weirdly wears on guys. He didn't look that bad against Billy Q, in my opinion. But we know that his lights have been shut out multiple times. And I think that Hernandez is probably going to catch him here. This will be Hernandez's first KO since 2021. But yeah, round 1 KO plus 335 isn't disgusting if you really like Hernandez here, but Hernandez at minus money, I can't get behind it. But kudos to anybody who can.
Pretty soon you're gonna have to get used to that. If he knocks him out here, he's gonna be on that upwards favorite trend.
I'll be waiting to fade him.
What do you think? Answer Fight's question first, and then what's up, biker boy? What do you think? You're on Damon Jackson, right, Drav? You say he's gonna win by sub?
Fuck no. No, I don't think Jackson's gonna win. I just feel like, first of all, did you guys heard the interviews, what they've been saying to each other?
I looked a little further into it. They're both, I guess they're both from Texas. So they were supposed to meet up on the regional scene, and Damon feels like Alex was ducking him.
It's not really what I'm referring to. I think Jackson told that you think that Hernandez has like a punchable face or something, and I think he said that
he does.
Said that he's mad at him because of what he said in Cowboy back in the days. Like Hernandez cooked him. If you guys didn't watch the video on Twitter, like his response was perfect. I think I think he's gonna cook him in the cage. Though.
Damon's got a little CTE going on. That's the issue there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Jackson said that he didn't lose the Billy Q fight. He said he doesn't care what people said. He won that fight. I think he lost it, but that was close. Like he was cooking.
I had Damon Jackson there,
like,
unfortunately.
He was piecing him up in the first round. But to your point, Peg, he did get cooked by Billy Q, but Hernandez also get cooked by Billy Q. Difference is, like Hernandez was destroying him. Like he was piecing him up bad. But we know that's what Billy Q does. He wear on people, a lot of volume, and then he kind of break people. And we know that Hernandez can be broken in the cage. But Jackson is not a guy that's gonna break him. He's not gonna break him. Like he doesn't have the power. First of all, the durability advantage here for Hernandez, I think, is huge. I think Jackson is chinny. I think Hernandez has a good chin. He quit at time because he gassed. But now after a couple fights at 145, I think he's gonna look real good here. He's the better striker, way more dangerous. He has the wrestling to keep the fight standing. I think that's a possibility. Look, minus 500 here. I think for Jackson to win, you need to wear on Hernandez, push a heavy wrestling game plan, and then to count on Hernandez to slow down and get tired. But I can't really put too much stock into that. I don't think Jackson has the best cardio either. I think he can be gassed out himself. So yeah, I think Hernandez probably find a kill shot at some point, but I think he can very well win a decision in this spot as well.
Definitely. All right. Main event time. The main event for this card is a rematch. It's a short notice rematch. Originally Brendan Allen was supposed to fight Marvin Vettori. Now he's getting the action man, Chris Curtis. Brendan Allen, 23-5, 28-6'2" with a 75-inch reach. Chris Curtis, he is 36, 5'10" with a 76-inch reach. The odds on this fight are Allen anywhere from minus 195 to minus 230. Chris Curtis anywhere from plus 180 to plus 163. I'll just start just so we can close it out. I think so yeah, unfortunately we're unfortunately all on Hernandez fight. So my thought process here, I was on Brendan Allen. I like Brendan Allen. Do I think he has room temperature IQ? Yes, 100%. I had his ticket when he was fighting Malkoun, which people think Malkoun won. I'm just because I had the ticket going to say Brendan Allen won. I had Brendan Allen against Andre Muniz. I had Brendan Allen pretty much every fight. Dravi likes to say, rematches don't go the same. Me personally, looking at this fight, I think the short notice plays into Chris Curtis's favor, honestly, because like Chris Curtis is a dog. He's got great takedown defense. He's been training he's been doing 5-round camps with Strickland the past 2 camps. So he's like going to be ready for a 5-round fight. His cardio has never really been the issue. Good takedown defense. He's got good counter strikes. He works the body well. Allen used to have a little bit of a quitter in him. I don't think he really has it as much anymore, but I mean, if someone can make you quit, it's the body shots of Chris Curtis that can. I'm going to be honest, going into this week, I was thinking Brendan Allen all the way, but going back, looking in the tapes, like his striking has definitely improved, but I don't think it's improved to the leaps and bounds to where he's going to dismantle Chris Curtis on the feet. Obviously the submission game, he can submit anyone, but like I said, Chris Curtis has pretty good sub defense, doesn't really get taken down often, pretty hard to get him down. So I think if Brendan Allen doesn't try and get that sub early, I think Chris Curtis takes over and honestly wins this fight. I'm going to pick Chris Curtis. I'm going to pick him plus 180. I don't think he's going to KO him, but he's definitely live for it. But obviously, Allen, I think, is live for a sub early. That's my kind of take. Draw, if you go next, and we'll have Key go.
Yeah. To be honest, I think that's a volatile fight. I think there's a lot of things that can happen. To me, the biggest thing is Chris Curtis is getting older. He's 36 years old. He has 41 pro fights, and I think he's on the decline. That's my concern here. I think Allen, he's 28, massive win streak. I think he has the momentum, and I think that he's kind of entering his prime now. Striking look better, wrestling look better. He's mixing up everything together, and I think he's a very, very good grappler. His chin is questionable at time, and you don't want that against Curtis. We know that Curtis knocked him out last time out. But I was kind of surprised looking back into the last fight. I had memories that the Curtis destroyed him, but Allen was winning some minutes on the feet. Like, Curtis is not good at distance. He's good in the pocket with his boxing, with the counter. I think there's a world where Allen win minutes on the feet and mix up the wrestling and look real good, potentially find a sub or just TKO Curtis, but I think that he can also win a decision. Curtis on short notice, I don't think it's going to affect him. I think he's more durable. He has the boxing advantage. He's more powerful. But yeah, that's just a tricky fight, dude. I don't want to bet Curtis because I think Allen's going to win. I think that he's going to, like Peg said, I love to say that, but rematches normally don't go the same. I don't love to bet on the same result. I kind of did last week with Pleasure Man. I said that I don't do this often, but I bet it's sub 1, sub 2. To be honest, at the number that I had, I don't regret it. I couldn't really I couldn't really imagine a world that I couldn't really. How can I say that? I couldn't really factor in that he would not be able to get any takedowns now, and that Ebo cardio would hold up better than it was before and everything. That's some things that after the fight you can look at and say, oh, was it a good bet or a bad bet? That's hard to say because he didn't really have the chance to go on top, but like the odds were plus 1,000, so, and that was a small bet. But yeah, I'm just mad that when I go against my strategy, so like my strategy to go against that, against the same outcome, bite me in the face. So yeah, I think Curtis maybe wins a decision to maybe Allen submit him. I don't really know, guys. I'm being honest. I don't have a strong read on this main event. I think it's at the current price, it's dog or pass. Curtis plus 180, I don't think it's a bad bet. Curtis knockout plus 300, I don't think it's a bad bet. Allen, I don't think it's a good bet at the current price. I don't think the finish prop is good for him either. So betting wise, it's Curtis or pass. So yeah, that's about it for me.
Key, what do you got?
Yeah, so I think that here, I think that this is a Chris Curtis fight, and it sucks to say, just because I'm very big on trends, and Chris is definitely on a downwards trend in his career. He didn't look the greatest against Marc-Andre Barriault. I thought that he won comfortably still, and I had a pretty big bet on him in that fight. I thought that he probably wins the Gastelum fight if he doesn't die off of a headbutt in that second round. Buckley, I had him there. Hermanson and Imavov, we know what that game plan looked like. Brendan Allen can't. He's not capable of bringing out that game plan, in my opinion. I think that it's only a matter of time until he gets touched if this stays standing. Now, could Brendan Allen have some newfound wrestling that is just super elite after all these different grappling camps he's had back to back to back? It's very possible. And that could be the way that he justifies this price tag. But standing on the feet with Chris Curtis, there's not a chance in hell for 25 minutes that he's minus 210. Yeah. Especially not with, he doesn't have a cardio advantage here. I'm very confident there. Doesn't have a cardio advantage. Chris Curtis really, really touches that body up in close range. I don't really see how he can go 25 minutes without getting touched of some sort. Now, does he completely die off of it? That's to be determined. But he will get touched if he stays on the feet for 25 minutes. I think that he has to bank a round or two off of grappling to justify this price tag. I don't think that he's going to sub Chris Curtis. I think Chris Curtis is just one of these guys that just doesn't get finished, period. He's shown a good chin outside of that random PFL KO against Ray Cooper, I think that was. But outside of that, I mean, the guy has been as durable as they come. He's built like a fucking brick. I think that this is a Chris Curtis fight. It sucks. Plus 180. I'm still struggling to wrap my mind around it to bet it. Plus 200 is probably where I want it. Once it touches plus 200, I'm probably in for sure. But plus 180, I can't get behind just yet. But I really, really can't see. Minus 210. Minus 150, Brendan Allen. makes a little more sense. That feels somewhat bettable.
That's probably how I line it, honestly.
Yeah, that makes more sense. But minus 210, whenever you got knocked out and you lost that first round against Chris Curtis in that first fight, like it wasn't like he just got randomly bombed. Like this wasn't Phil Hall's Chris Curtis. This was Chris Curtis piecing you up the whole time.
Yeah.
So to think minus 210 just because Curtis is on a downwards trend, that feels like an overreaction. So I think that I can't blame everybody who's on Chris Curtis right now. I'm hoping that this line gets a little bit wider so I can jump in with you.
Yeah, and I'll add to that too. You know, I'm gonna tell all my guys now, if our bets are looking good and we're looking pretty profitable going into the main event, and that price is around the same, we'll be adding 1 unit there just to close out the night. I think he's a side, but I'm just gonna see how my slate unfolds first. All right, let's move on and try and finish. We're at a minute or an hour and 30 here. Let's just wrap this up real quick. BTL Parlay. I'll go first. I'm gonna do Cynthia Calvillo money line.
I'm gonna take Charriere minus 115.
Oh,
Who is it?
Charriere minus 115.
Perrier. I got you. All right. Who do you want, Key?
Give me Charlie Campbell minus 175.
Oh, dude, we're gonna lose because of that, huh?
Okay,
At least you'll make a little money this night, Peg.
Yeah.
Okay, so Calvillo plus 113. Campbell minus 175, Charriere minus 115. It's plus 526. By the way, we just cashed like a plus 490 last week, so let's get at let's cash this one.
What do you say was plus 515?
No, 26, I think.
526. Okay. All right. Cool. All right, guys, that's the show. Again, the BTL Parlay is Cynthia Calvillo plus 113, Charlie Campbell minus 175, and Morgan Charriere minus 115, all together plus 526. I think those are probably bet online odds, right, Drav?
Yep.
All right, guys, that's the show. Again, thank you for joining us. If you're watching this, after the fact, like, subscribe to the channel. We appreciate it. Huge card coming up next week, UFC 300, probably the biggest of our generation coming to it.
Banger.
We got a very cool special guest coming for you guys. We'll release that closer to. As of right now, I'll let you guys a little heads up. I'm working on getting another. I've been doing these contests lately. I'm going to do a contest if I can. I'm going to get every single fighter on the card, every fighter on UFC 300. I'm going to get their little playing card, and I'll figure out how we're going to play it. And whoever wins that contest, I'm going to send them all, for all 28 fighters. You'll get the whole UFC 300 slate in player cards sent to you. So I'm going to figure out the contest later. I'll talk with these guys, see what they want to do, and we're going to add that too. I'll put a tweet out about that as well. Again, picks by Pegasus. Picks will always be free in the Telegram. Links in my bio. Javi, go ahead, plug yourself.
Yeah, Trivia MMA on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. My dub club is linked in my bio. You can subscribe to everything right there. And yeah, UFC 300 is going to be a banger. I have already a lot of bets, and I'm going to have a lot more. You really want to sign up before this event. If you want a special promo code for this event only, DM me on Twitter, and I got your back.
Yeah, keep 3 picks. Y'all know the deal. Dub Club, Discord, all links in the bio. We're up around 35 to 40 units to start the year. Got to keep it going. 27% ROI on books. I got a dope community. We hit a ton of live bets that I don't track at all, but have been shown to be very profitable. DFS scores, prize picks, underdog fantasy, better book bets. So we do it all in there. So come kick it with the team. I'm sure that you want to get in right before UFC 300. We have a huge slate. I just dropped a 6-unit bet for UFC 301. So if you want some big time bets, come and join the Discord and Dub Club.
All right, guys, that's the show. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Peace.